For this project, I am going to be using some of the Towering Tumble blocks, and I'm also going to be using a few of these cubes. And what I want to do is I'm going to start making my chair. I'm planning on using the super glue gel that I got at Dollar Tree to put my blocks together instead of hot glue, but I am really afraid that I am going to glue them to my fingers or get the super glue on my fingers, but we're going to try it. I just think that the super glue is going to have a better hold than the hot glue. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to glue all these 4 blocks right here together. Okay, got these 4 together, and I don't know if it's going to help or not, but I was using a baby wipe to get rid of any excess glue that's squished out. We'll see how that works when I paint it. So this is my seat part. So then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make my backrest. All right, so this is what my backrest is going to look like. So I'm going to start gluing this together. Okay, I think I have those 2 together. Then I'm going to put my middle pieces on. For some reason, those 2 ends, they just didn't want to stay together very well. Not sure why. Okay, then I'm going to get the other 2 pieces on this side. Okay, got that done. Now I am going to super glue the other side. So far I have not stuck any of my fingers together, so that's good. And the last one. Okay, so for some reason the super glue isn't holding some of the pieces together, which I just do not understand. So I got my glue gun out. Some of them, like this, is solid as a rock. So I don't understand why some of the pieces aren't staying together. So I warmed up my hot glue gun and I'm gonna try that. I just think the pieces aren't gonna fit as good together. There's going to be a little bit more of a gap in there than when I use the super glue, but I don't know, for some reason. But that's a good thing though, because I actually forgot that I have to stick my little seat in here, because I had the one side glued on and then I remembered my seat has to go right here. All right, and then I'm going to glue that side on over here, hopefully. Okay, now this is where I'm going to use my little craft cubes. The craft cubes are actually going to be for my armrest. So I'm just going to put on this side, but I am going to stack 2 on top, or 1 on top of this one to make my armrest a little bit higher. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, I got my armrest done here. Then I'm going to take 2 more Jenga blocks, and they're actually going to go right here on the sides to make my arms. So I am just going to put a little hot glue on there and try to center it as best I can, and do that on this side also. Okay, that part of my chair is done, and now I am going to put my legs on. So I'm going to put it over here. This one is going to go right about there towards the top. And then I'm going to put the other 2 the exact same on the other side. All right, my chair is all built. I think it looks pretty good. There is one other part, but I'm probably going to do that towards the end. The next thing that I need to do is I'm going to need to paint this. Okay, so I'm going to take my Waverly Antique Wax to paint my chair. And I'm pretty much just going to do the whole chair. So I'm gonna paint it, kind of spread it out, and then I'm just gonna take a napkin and wipe it off. Okay, my little chair is all done. Now the next thing that I want to do is I have my skeleton here, and it has this little, it was actually skeleton garland, so it has this little plastic piece on the top. So I am just gonna snip that off of there. Okay, and I want my little guy to sit in the chair. Let's see if I can get this in the camera good. I want him to sit about here. I want his knees to come. There's a little bit of bend in his knees right there, and that's about where I want him to sit. So I'm going to attempt to hot glue his legs down right here so that I can put them where I want them. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little hot glue right above his knee right here. I'm hoping this is somewhat going to stay. And it's going to take a little bit to get him in the position that I want him to because he's not bendable. But I'm just gonna hold it down right there. Okay, it wasn't sitting quite where I wanted to. What I'm trying to do right now is I am trying to heat up my skeleton. I'm trying to get him a little, just a little melted so that I can pose him in the position I want. I want his arm to come up. As you can see, I don't want to rip it off, so I'm just kind of taking my time because I want this arm to sit up like this so that my skeleton guy fits good on here. So I'm just heating it up a little bit and then holding it up where I want it. And I did that with his knees also. So I'm just going to keep manipulating him till I get him in the spot that I want him. Okay, so I can't seem to get him exactly where I want him, so I am just going to start hot gluing him in there. And we'll see what happens from there. So I'm going to stick him back on here and hold it down. Okay, so I had to put a little bit of hot glue under his butt, and I got both legs glued down. Then I am going to try to, he's a little bit small for the chair, but I am going to try to hot glue his arms down here. Okay, so he's all hot glued in there. Then the next thing I want to do is I want to make the little, well, I don't have a buckle that'll fit on here, but the little arm straps. But obviously I don't want it yellow, so I'm actually going to paint it this Java color. And then I'm going to snip them and I'm going to hot glue those over the hands. Well, I am just going to hot glue this around his arm here. So I'm just going to stick a little hot glue on here. And then wrap it around. All right, I got that one on there, and then I'm going to put the other one on the other side. Okay, so I need the little hat. What I did was I just cut a circle, and then I had another skeleton, and I just kind of shaped it around his head, like so. And what I probably should have done is I probably should have done this in the first place, is stuck it on my guy before I glued him down in the chair, but I'm going to stick this and hot glue this to his head if I can get it on there. Yeah, his head's back kind of far, but I'm going to do my best to get that on there. It doesn't look too bad. I probably, if you do this project, make sure you do the hat first before you glue your little skeleton guy down. Alright, so I have his little hat on. Then the next thing I want to do is I have this wire, and I don't know how well this is going to bend. I can't exactly even remember where I got this wire from, but I want some wire pieces to come off the head and go behind the chair. So I'm going to take some of this and see if this pencil works. I'm going to see if I can wrap it around here. I'm not exactly sure how much I'm going to need, but I want it to go to the helmet, and then I might want it to go back behind the chair. what I did is I took that wire and I actually poked it into the side of his head here, and then I'm just gonna try to bend it a little off to the side, but I'm gonna probably hot glue it on the back here. And like I said, I just used the pencil and I wrapped the wire around there to shape it how I wanted. All right, and that is what that side looks like. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the other side done. Okay, I have my wire ready. I'm just gonna show you quick. I just poked this right into the side of his head. Hopefully it goes in. The other side went in super easy. That one was a little bit more difficult, but I got it in there. Okay, and then I am going to hot glue this end down. Okay, I have them all in there. There was just one little part I was struggling with, and that's the feet, or the legs, because the legs need to be held down. So I think I have it figured out. I took this craft stick and I cut it the size of the chair here, and I have this Jenga block, and I am going to hot glue this onto my craft stick. And then I am going to paint this the same color as the chair, this Antique Wax by Waverly. And then I'm going to take a little bit more of my cord and I'm going to paint that with the Java color. All right, so I am going to get a coat of this on here. I have my little pieces all painted. The first thing that I want to do is I'm going to actually put this on the outside of my little guy's foot. This is going to get stuck to the board like this. This is actually probably going to be kind of difficult to get this wrapped around here without burning myself, but I am going to do my best because I really don't want to burn myself. So I'm going to wrap this little guy. Okay, I got that one on, and now I'm going to get the other one on. And this piece is going to get hot glued to here, and then the legs are going to get glued down. Okay, so I'm going to position this here, see where I am. This leg is actually, this leg is a little bit shorter, but I'm going to put it right about here. So hopefully I position this good. And then I'm going to hot glue those little legs down, and that I'm going to have to hold for a while because I got to make sure that's going to stay because the legs aren't exactly very bendable and they kind of stick out farther than that. So all right, my little guy is all done. Well, if you stuck around till the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, I hope you subscribe. And again, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye. So for this project, I'm going to take a crate that I got from Dollar Tree. This is a craft stick that I got from Walmart, and you're going to need one of these that I got from Dollar Tree. And we're going to paint these all black right here. Waverly chalk paint and ink. First, before I start painting, I want to cut this craft stick down to fit my box here. It's going to fit on my box over here. So I'm going to get my craft stick painted. I am going to get my crate painted, and then I am going to put a coat of the black paint on here, maybe 2, just because I don't like the shiny. I want to dull it down a little bit. All right, my pieces are all painted. Then the next thing that I'm going to do is I am going to take the stick. The battery pack is actually going to get attached to this. So it's going to get attached like that. So I'm going to take these Velcro pieces that I got, and I'm going to attach these to the battery pack. But, okay. So I'm just going to stick a little hot glue underneath here just to make sure that it sticks good. So a little bit more hot glue on that. Okay, then I am going to hot glue this piece onto the box. Like so. And then that way I can stick my battery pack in here on the Velcro. Oh, I gotta put some more hot glue on there. Didn't quite stick. Should have made sure I got a good hold first. Okay, then the battery pack is going to get stuck on the inside here. All right, just like that. Okay, so this way I can get my battery pack out very easy so I can change the batteries. And I can also turn it on and turn the lights on and off very easy. I have this creepy cloth that I cut to the size that I want already. And I am going to put this on my crate. Oops, I think it was this way. It doesn't have to be perfect, just cut a chunk out. And you can always like pull it down and then you can trim off the ends too if they look a little bit long. Then I am going to start putting my lights through my crate. So I'm just gonna find a hole in the back here or actually in the front, and I'm gonna pull some of my lights through. Now these lights I think I got from Joann's. I think they were on clearance. I only paid like $2 or $3 for them. And the reason for these small little LED lights is because at the bottom of this base, they fit right through there. You don't have to drill a hole or anything. They come right through. So this is gonna go on top of the crate here. So this I am gonna actually hot glue on there, and I'm gonna need quite a bit. I'm hoping this is gonna stay good. So I'm just gonna get a bunch of hot glue on here. It's kind of a small ledge. And then I'm gonna just try to measure it up about where I want it and hold it down. Okay, so right now I am just pulling my lights up through here, and I'm just kind of winding them up like you would an extension cord. I'm trying to figure out about how many lights I'm gonna want in the top part. The rest of them are going to get just shoved in the bottom here along with the rest of this cord. Just gonna get shoved in the bottom. Oh yeah, that looks pretty cool. You can see the battery box, but maybe I'll try to figure something out there too. Or you can cover the battery box up. All right, so I think I'm gonna use about this many lights inside of there, and then I'm gonna leave the rest of them in the bottom. So I am going to push this down for right now, move it off to the side. And I bought this flower was on here from Dollar Tree, and what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to use the skull in the middle. Okay, so after much deliberation, I decided that I am gonna use this little foam piece that I got. It's part of a wreath that I got from Dollar Tree. And this is actually gonna get hot glued right in the middle here. And then I am going to take some of the Spanish moss that I got from Dollar Tree, and I am going to cover the green up so you can't see it. So I'm just gonna take some of this, and I'm basically just gonna wrap it around the base. I'll probably put another one around because I don't want the green to show. So stick a little in there. I gotta make sure too, because this goes in here and I do want that down. So I don't want to put too much in there, but I do want this to all be covered up. Okay, so I think I decided I'm going to use the red flower here. I'm getting glitter all over the place. So I just took the red flower apart, and I'm going to stick his head
on there and then stick it in. And I left the little piece in there that makes it stick up. So I am going to see how that works. Okay, so I'm just gonna start putting my petals on, and I am going to hot glue them all together here. So stick a little hot glue on there, and then just push my flowers down on there. And then I do have this little piece, that's what makes it kind of stick up more and pushes the petals up. So I'm gonna stick that in there. A little hot glue on there. And put the next petals on. Okay, so then I have him all glued on there, and I'm thinking maybe I'm gonna put a little bit glue on the petals to get him to go up around the face more. So maybe if I just stick some hot glue and stick the petals together up like this. So I'm gonna get those petals glued up around his head, and then he is gonna get stuck and hot glued right in there. Okay, so I glued his head down, but I just do not like the way the flowers are getting in the way, so I am just going to trim these down. I'm just cutting the leaves down so that once I do that, I will be able to fit this on here a little bit better. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these all trimmed up. Okay, now that I got them about where I want it all cut off, I need to get these lights in here. Okay, so I thought about it and I thought about it. And I think what I'm going to do is I am actually going to hot glue these lights and stick them up like this going around. So I'm just taking some hot glue and pushing it down closer inside the base because I have to put that lid on yet. And I am just bending them because they are bendable wire. And just sticking them up like this. That way I can kind of go around the face so I'm not covering it up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and then I'll come back. Okay, I got it. So I think this is going to work really good. So I actually got some hot glue on my thing and I tried to clean it off. It didn't work very good, so I'm going to take my best looking side here. Should have kept this out of the way when I was doing stuff. And I'm just gonna stick those lights in there. And then I am gonna hot glue this, but I'm only gonna hot glue the back on because I don't want hot glue sticking out in the front. So I'm just gonna stick a little hot glue back here and just get the back hot glued on. Oh, that looks pretty good. I don't really like how my creepy cloth got kind of pulled out and it doesn't look very good anymore. So I am going to take some more of it and I think I'm going to just wrap it around the base and try to hang it off a little bit. Make it a little bit thicker. There, I'm just going to go around like that and then I'm going to trim it, but I'm going to trim it a little bit longer, I think. So, just going to stick a little hot glue on there. Nothing is going quite how I wanted it to go. Okay, now I'm going to use a few of these leaves that I had with it, and then these little branches, and this little squiggly that came with it, and I'm just going to glue these onto the back just to stick up a little bit, just to give it a little extra. And I'm going to put the other one on the other side. Okay, then I got this little branch and the little squiggly. And I'm just going to stick some hot glue on there and stick it inside the crate here so it sticks up. And I'm gonna put the little squiggly on the other side. All right, then the last thing that I'm gonna do is I got this little bag of bat rings, and there are little skulls in here too, but I'm not a really big fan of the skulls. I don't know, they look just kind of weird to me. So, but I'm gonna take some of the bats that I have and I'm gonna stick one here and one here in the front. So I'm just gonna cut the little ring part off. Yes, I know my crafting area is a total mess. And you probably won't even see the bats, but I'm just trying to disguise the battery pack a little bit. I know, I should have cleaned up while I was crafting, and I didn't. It's just a mess. But I'm just gonna stick these little bats on here, and then it'll be finished. But that is the end. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you subscribe. Don't forget to hit the little bell so you get notifications when I upload. And thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye. So I got this crate from Dollar Tree, and I have these jumbo popsicle sticks, which I believe I got from Walmart. And I am going to take the Waverly ink chalk paint, and I am going to paint all three of these pieces. I'm going to do the crate and the popsicle sticks, both sides. Okay, I have my box painted, just waiting for it to dry, but what I want to do is I want to take my popsicle sticks, which they're still wet, and I don't want the rounded ends, so I'm just going to be really careful. Go little bit by little bit. I'm sorry, my craft sticks, not my popsicle sticks, and I'm just going to cut the end off of them, just like this. But go slow because these split really easy. So I'm just going to cut all four of them so they look like that. Okay, everything's painted. I have my sticks chopped, and then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take this elephant gray chalk paint, and I am going to dry brush the gray onto my box. So just put a little bit on my brush. That's probably a little too much. That's okay. You can just kind of wipe some of it off, and I'm just going to dry brush on the box and then onto my popsicle sticks also. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that done. All right, I have my box all distressed and my sticks here. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this beware sign that I have, and I am gonna paint that in the elephant gray. And I'm just gonna use a sponge to dab the color on here. And I'm probably gonna put about 2 coats on there. I painted the metal before, and if you try to use a paintbrush it doesn't really work the best, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that done in this elephant gray color. All right, I have my beware sign done. I think it looks pretty good, and I'm gonna start putting my project together. So first thing that I'm gonna do is these sticks here are gonna get attached to my box. All right, so a little bit of hot glue. And right at the edge here. Like that. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put this beware sign on these sticks here. I'm not going to glue the sticks together because once I have the sign glued on here, it'll stay just fine. I was going to cut the edges like jaggedy, but these craft sticks, they break so easy. So that is obviously not going to work. So I'm just going to put a little hot glue on here. That's about where I want my sign. All right, I have that glued on there. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to put it onto here.
All right, so that part is done. Okay, so I got these skeletons. It was actually a skeleton garland from Dollar Tree. So I have 3 left. I used one in a different project. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take these skeletons apart, take that head off of there, and then what I'm gonna do is I wanna cut off the arms and the feet. I'm not exactly sure how long I'm gonna want this right now, so I'm just gonna cut it a little bit longer, because what I am going to do is these are going to stick out of the box. Put a little hot glue right here, and then stick the hand in like this and glue it on. Do the same with the other one. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna go with the hands right there. I think that should be good. Okay, then the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of the Spanish moss that I got from Dollar Tree, and I am going to put it on top of my box here. So I'm just gonna get some hot glue on here and then glue this down. All right, Spanish moss is on there. Then the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue this little guy down. I try to get his arms to stay up. These are not posable, but trying to get his arms to stay up a little bit. And he is gonna sit right here on my box. So I'm just gonna put some hot glue on him. And stick him right here. And then my other guy, I want to put him standing next to the box over here. I'm going to hot glue his arm. See if I can get him posed decent. And then the next thing that I want to do is I have another of these craft sticks, and I'm going to make a little tombstone. So I'm going to try to cut this without breaking it. First, I want to paint this gray. I'm gonna grab my elephant gray out. Okay, so my little tombstone is drying, and then I got these pumpkins, these pumpkin picks from Dollar Tree, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint this pumpkin gray. So I have the tombstone gray, but I'm gonna paint the pumpkin gray too. So I am just gonna write it on here. There, that looks pretty good right there. All right, and then the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my pumpkin, which I painted gray, and I'm gonna put a little bit of white accents in there, just to give it a little bit of definition. Just going in between the little creases here. All right, and then I'm gonna stick my stem in here, and I actually think I'm gonna pull this wire out now, because I'm just gonna hot glue this. Oh, it's okay, I roughed it a little bit. I'm gonna hot glue my little pumpkin right here in the middle. So and then I have my little RIP, which I think I'm just gonna take my white here a little bit. I have a little bit of paint on the brush yet, and I'm just kind of putting a little couple white streaks on there to make it look a little bit older. And then this guy is going to get glued right there. And then I have my little skull from the other guy. And glue his little head right there. All right, and that is it. It is all finished. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope that you love my project. I thought it turned out really cute. I hope you subscribe, and don't forget to hit the little bell so you get notifications when I upload. And thanks for watching. Take care. Bye. Alright, so for this craft you are going to need a sign blank. Doesn't necessarily have to be this one, but about the size of this one. And I am actually going to take my bunny off of here, and I have already cut some craft paper here, and I'm going to cover my back here with this craft paper because I'm going to use the other side of the sign. I'm just going to hot glue this right onto there. Okay, I have it all covered up. Doesn't look the best. I didn't get it quite straight, but I mean, this looks a lot better for the back side of it. Then for the front side of it, which is going to be the face of my project, I am going to take some Waverly white chalk paint, and that's the color that I am going to paint this sign. So I'm just going to give it a real good coat of the white chalk paint. And then I'm going to be using these jumbo craft sticks also, and those are also going to get a coat of the white paint. Okay, I have my sign all painted. It's kind of hard to see because I have a white background and it's white. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Waverly chalk paint and elephant, and I am going to distress my board a little bit. I already didn't paint it the best because I knew I was going to distress it. So I'm just going to up and down my board like this, and then these I'm actually going to put a little bit more paint on. I was actually going to paint them gray, and then I totally forgot and I painted them white, so I'm just going to put a little extra of the gray on my sticks. Okay, I went ahead and I grabbed a different background so that you could see my sign on my project. And what I'm going to do is, some of the lines in there are a little sharper than what I wanted, so I'm just going to take a little piece of sandpaper and I'm just going to sand it a little bit just to tone it down a little bit. Okay, so I am going to put this string back on that came with it, and I'm just going to poke holes in here so I can get my string through. So I'm just going to use the same one that came on the sign and just pokes right through the back. Then the next thing that I'm going to do is I created this in Design Space on my Cricut. You could probably find a printable or something like that online. Look up images on Google, wherever, and you could just print it out on paper and Mod Podge it, and that would look perfectly fine too. So I am just going to try to line this up the best that I can here. Let's try that. Now this paper, the mask here that I'm using, that was just contact paper that I got from Dollar Tree. That stuff actually works really good, and you can reuse it quite a few times, and it does not cost a lot at all. It's $1 for a pretty big roll. But I've been using it for a little bit now, and it works really good. All right, and that is on there. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do placement for my brooms. I got these brooms from Dollar Tree, and these are actually going to go on here. And I am going to build, it's going to kind of look like a little hanger. Really, it's just going to be these popsicle sticks, or sorry, craft sticks in between there. But I'm going to cut them so the broom kind of sticks out, so it kind of looks like it's sitting in there. Okay, so I decided I wanted to dress it up just a little bit, so I took some of this checkered ribbon that I got from Dollar Tree, and I just put a little bow on this one in the front here. So I'm just trying to size these up about where I want them on my board, and then I'm going to hot glue them down. Trying to keep them all about the same height. I mean, if they're off a little bit, no big deal. Okay, then I'm just gonna glue the sticks down a little bit on the top. I want these attached to the top. Okay, those are all glued on, and then the next thing I'm gonna do is I am going to cut some chunks of wood. I'm thinking I'm probably gonna put it right about there, and I am going to stick them in between my brooms here. I'm not sure if I want two, like the thickness of two on here yet, but basically the idea is to make it look like it's actually hanging on something. Okay, so I figured out what I'm actually going to do to bump this up a little bit. I have this little chunk of a paint stir stick that I didn't realize that I had, and I am going to chop it up the same size as my pieces here, and I'm just going to glue those together and glue it underneath. Okay, so I have my pieces all cut, and now I am just gluing my craft sticks onto my paintbrush. Glue those together first, and then they're going to get glued onto my sign. So that's the hard part, trying to get it straight when I glue it onto my sign. Okay, then I'm going to try to line these up and get them glued down as evenly as possible. I'm just going to butt them right up to the broomstick handle. And try to keep them, or get them. I just took out my light, as straight as I can. I have my light literally hanging on my arm right now. I think this just gives it a little bit more, kind of maybe makes it look like some kind of hanger that you would stick your broom, you know, like if you had a rake or a broom or something in the garage. Those little things that you stick the handles in. Okay, so I got that all finished. Then the next thing I want to do is I'm going to take some of this creepy cloth that I have, and I'm going to cut some off of there, and I'm actually going to outline, I'm going to put some across the top and then some hanging down here. Okay, so what I'm doing is I basically just took the end of the creepy cloth and I cut down the middle, and now I'm just going to cut across the top up here. Oh, should have grabbed a better scissors. Alright, so I'm just going to cut, there we go, across the top. I'm going to get rid of that. And then basically I'm going to hot glue this onto my sign. I'm just going to kind of play around with it until I get it to where I think I want it. I might have to cut some sections out that look a little too thick. Alright, I have it arranged the way I want it. Now I am just going to start hot gluing my creepy cloth to my sign. Just basically going to go all the way around like this and just glue it down. There's no rhyme or reason to this, just trying to make it look like a cleaner border. So I'll probably be snipping some of the strings off if they're hanging funny and stuff like that. But I'm going to go ahead and get that all hot glued on there. Okay, my sign is all finished. Trying to get the whole thing in there. I'll get some pictures of it at the end. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope it inspires you, and I hope that you subscribe, and don't forget to hit the little bell so you get notified when I upload. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye. Okay, so for this project, I have four 4x6 frames. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this backing out of here, and I'm going to take the glass out too. And then I'm going to set that aside, and with all 4 frames, I'm going to take Mod Podge, and I am going to go over the edges of the frames here and the insides of the frames, because I am going to paint this with chalk paint and I want it to be able to stick to something. I don't want it to just scratch right off because it's a very smooth finish. The Mod Podge on my picture frames is all dried. Now I'm going to use this Waverly chalk paint and ink, and I'm going to start painting my frames. I'm going to be painting them all black, but I do probably want to get the sides a little bit because I don't know how much is going to show once I glue them together. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get all my frames painted. I am not going to make you watch the whole process. Alright, my frames are all painted. Then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take these little these little holders out of here. Some of them come out really easy and some take a little bit of prying, but I want to get these out of here. So I'm going to go ahead and take those out on all of them. Okay, I got these barbecue skewers from Dollar Tree. They're super, super long. And what I want to do is I'm going to cut 4 of these, and I want them sticking up past the frame a little bit. So I'm just going to estimate probably about right there. And I'm going to cut 4 of them, and I am going to make them all the same size. Alright, I have all 4 of them cut, and then I have these 4 beads that I'm going to use also, and I got these from Amazon. I think it was probably like $14 for like 1,000 beads. So what I want to do is I'm going to paint these, well, you could say dowel rods, but they were barbecue skewers. I'm going to paint all these black, and then I am also going to take these beads, and I always use a pipe cleaner. I don't know, that's just, I'm sure there's probably an easier way to do it, but I just put my beads on a pipe cleaner and then that's how I paint them. So I stick them on there and then just go around and paint them. Alright, I have all my dowel rods and my beads painted. I'm going to set those aside for right now. Now this is the hard part. So I am going to try to glue these frames together. I'm actually going to glue them together in the corners here like this. So I know this is going to be very difficult to get it straight, but I am going to try to do my best. So I'm going to be using a little bit of E6000 for a better hold and also hot glue. So I'm going to try to get it in the corners here the best I can. And then I'm going to use the hot glue for the quick hold. Alright, and then I'm going to try to stick the corners together here. A little difficult, but I am going to reinforce this, so don't worry. Alright, these 2 sides are together, but they're not super tight, so that is where my little dowel rods that I painted are going to come in. So I am actually going to hot glue these in the corner of my frame here. So I'm hoping that'll give it a little bit more stability. I'm going to stick that right in there. But I'm going to need that extra room. I didn't want to butt the frames up on the edges because like I said, I'm going to need that extra room there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get the other sides put on. Alright, so far so good. I just have one last side to do. We'll see how sturdy it is after that. Okay, I have it all glued together. It seems to be pretty sturdy. Then I got this lantern, this folding lantern with a tea light from Dollar Tree. And what I plan on doing, and that's why I need to make my box a little bit larger, was I am going to actually put this lantern inside of the box, just slip it in. So I'm not exactly sure if it's gonna fit. I kind of tried to measure to see if it would fit in there, but I did not assemble the lantern yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and assemble the lantern. So it just has these little adhesives, which I'm pretty sure, yeah, there's no directions or anything. So I am just gonna do the side first, and then do the top, do the roof part. So try to line this up the best I can. Oh, get that on camera. I have a very bad habit of going out off of camera. Alright, so I just took the adhesive strip off of there, and then I put it together. Now, all these little corners right here, they have a crease in there, so you're going to want to make sure you fold them. So hopefully it'll sit like a nice, neat little box. It's a little bent out of shape, but I mean, it's Dollar Tree, so. Alright, then I am going to assemble the roof, which I think I have to do the sides on here first and then the top. So I'm just going to take the little adhesive thing off of here and kind of line it up. Well, actually, make sure my folds are all bent. And then put it together. Make sure you fold that up. And then try to stick it on there straight. Alright, I'm going to do the other side. All done. So I'm actually, what I want to do is I'm going to paint this top of this because I want it to be black, but I'm going to go back to my little stand here and I'm going to take my beads and I'm just going to hot glue them onto here real quick. Okay, so I'm just gluing my beads onto the top of my dowel rods here. So I'm just going to get these all glued on here. It's just to give my lantern or house, whatever you want to call it, just a little bit more character. It was actually my husband's idea. I was going to put the dowel rods down here and I wasn't going to put them up in points, but my husband actually said that that would look really good if I stuck it up like that with some beads on top. So there we go. So I'm going to set that aside and then I'm going to get my black chalk paint, or sorry, ink chalk paint back out, and I'm going to paint the top of this. And I'm probably going to go down a little bit too. Jeez, I'm totally off camera again. So I am going to go ahead and paint the whole top of this lantern, window and all. Alright, I have the top of my paper lantern all painted black. And I gotta tell you, I'm really starting to like this project. Okay, so I have my box that I made and the lantern is going to go inside of here. Now, it was a little bit big the way that I did it. I could maybe have scrunched the frames in there a little bit, but I'm thinking it looks pretty cute. So now I just need to, I'm gonna hide the purple as much as possible. So this is gonna have to come down a little bit. And since my box, if you can see this right here, it's not right kind of where I want it. So I think I'm gonna hot glue the bottom to it, but I'm gonna try to make sure that I don't get the purple in there. So this might be a tad bit difficult, but I am going to do my best to try to center it in here with a little bit of hot glue. So I'm just gonna put a little bit in there for right now so I can try to line it up. All right, I have my lantern all hot glued in there. Then the next thing that I'm gonna do, I need to get that tea light in there. So I'm gonna take this Waverly black or ink chalk paint, and I am going to paint this popsicle stick black on both sides. And I'm also gonna try to paint my tea light here. I don't know how this is gonna turn out or if it's even gonna stay on there, but I kind of I don't want that bright white in my box. So I am gonna go ahead and get these two things painted. Okay, I have my craft stick, and I did trying to cut it, I broke it a little bit, but I'm not gonna worry about that. So what I'm gonna do is I wanna put my little tea light on here, and then I wanna stick it to the bottom of here, but I also wanna be able to get the tea light off so I can access the switch and the battery. So I have these little Velcro pieces. I don't remember where I got them from, but what I wanna do is I want to put the Velcro on my tea light and in the middle of here, but I need to make sure that I get a good stick. And I also want to put it right here so that I can still access the battery compartment. But I just want to be able to pop it on and off. So I think what I'm going to do, I need the Velcro to be bumped up a little bit. I have these little pop-up dots, adhesive dots that I got from Dollar Tree in the craft section. And I am going to take one of those to kind of pop my Velcro up a little bit. So, but I know it's not going to just stay, so I'm actually going to use a little bit of hot glue on there. And I'm going to stick it right on the battery pack there. And then take that little piece off. The adhesive, and then I am going to put some hot glue on there also, and put the other side of my Velcro on here. So that way I should be able to just stick it on here and pull it off. But since the tea light has this little ridge, it doesn't make exactly for a flat spot to do that. So I'm going to stick my little Velcro, my light on there, and then I am going to hot glue my light into my lantern. Alright, I have that all glued together. Now I have my tea light in here, and I can actually turn the tea light on and off just by turning this. So it'll come on and off. It doesn't sit quite the best. I might have to try to think of something for that. Let me see what I can do. Okay, so I just took two of those little adhesive dots and I put it on there just so that this is a more flat surface, but then all I have to do is turn my tea light on and then just stick my hand in there and apply it to the Velcro. And it'll sit right inside there just like that. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this elephant chalk paint and I am going to try to distress the black a little bit. I don't want to use a lot of gray. I just want a little bit, but I am just gonna go kind of give it a little, like, I guess, dingier look. So it's not just straight black. And I'm just gonna hit it wherever I feel like it. I'm even gonna do the top part. See, it's just kind of giving it more a little bit of a whiter look, not quite so black. And I'm just gonna go ahead and do that all the way around the house and pretty much everywhere on these and on the roof. And then I'll come back when I get that done. All right, I have it all painted. If that gray just gives it a little bit older look. And then the last thing that I'm gonna do is I bought some of this creepy cloth. Sorry, my chair squeaks. I hope you didn't hear that. And I am going to actually just cut a few pieces and I'm going to drape it
down over it. So I'm just gonna, there's no rhyme or reason here. I'm just gonna cut, and then I kind of want it draping down. I might actually stick a little bit over here. So maybe down like that. And then kind of want to stick a little bit over here. I don't want it obviously covering the windows, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to chop it. Stick it up over here. Like I said, I don't really want it covering the windows too much, but I'm just going to kind of drape it around my lantern. And then there. I'm just going to kind of hang it around there like that. So I'm going to go ahead and get that finished, and that is going to be my last step. All right, it is all finished. I think it turned out pretty cute. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my tea light on. See how I just popped it out of there? And I stuck my tea light in there. And then that is it. I'll get some pictures of it, try to get some with the lights off a little bit, but that is my first Halloween decor piece for this year. And let me know what you think. I would love if somebody would comment on my videos. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and take care. Thanks. Bye.